This is the disturbing footage of Audrey Hale, the school shooter who shot and killed 3 adults and 3 children. On March 27, 2023, Audrey shot her way through the Covenant School, an institution she previously attended in Nashville, Tennessee. Eventually, her rampage was stopped when police officers shot and killed her. Audrey Elizabeth Hale was undoubtedly a creative, talented, and a well-rounded person. When she was in elementary, Audrey attended the Covenant School, a private Christian institution in Nashville, Tennessee. Although it is not entirely clear when she attended the school, old yearbooks indicate she may have been a student up until 4th grade. Audrey then attended the Isaiah T. Cresswell Middle School of the Arts. She shared many interests with her peers, including love for video games, movies, animals, and sports. Despite being naturally shy and quiet, Audrey dedicated herself to becoming an athlete and joined the girls' basketball team. Through the sport, she met her teammates Mia Phillips, Sydney Sims, and Avriana Patton. Despite feeling like an outsider in the well-established team, Audrey was grateful for the warmth and acceptance that her more athletic teammates extended toward her. Their kindness profoundly impacted her, and she treasured their efforts to make her feel welcome. However, Audrey began showing signs of her highly unstable personality during this time. Audrey's behavior toward her basketball team grew increasingly awkward. Some of them described it as obsessive and stalker-ish. Nevertheless, she completed middle school and enrolled at the Nashville School of the Arts in 2010. Although her school did not have a track team, Audrey tried out for the girls' 4x400 meter relay team at Martin Luther King Jr. High School and became a part of their state champion team. She was also recognized as the most athletic student in the Nashville School of the Arts yearbook. Audrey then attended the Nassau College of Art and Design. As time passed, Audrey's once close relationship with her teammates began to drift apart. Still, she made an effort to keep in touch with them, especially Mia. Audrey often reminisced about their time together in middle school, which was sweet and nostalgic. However, at times, Mia sensed something was amiss in their interactions. Upon setting up her email for the first time at Middle Tennessee State University, Mia was shocked to discover there was already an email from Audrey in her inbox. Occasionally, Mia also received memorabilia from Audrey, referencing their time on the middle school basketball team. Somehow, Audrey was able to track her address. Still, Audrey remained seemingly ordinary to the people around her. She showed immense talent in her illustrations in class and was described by one of her teachers as very professional, citing her creations as whimsical and childlike. However, this childlike characteristic was also apparent in Audrey's behavior. One of her classmates, who only wanted to be identified as Cody, thought Audrey was younger than him, even though they were the same age, because she dressed like a child and brought stuffed animals to class. To Cody, Audrey seemed like she was obsessed with staying as a child. Furthermore, Audrey's portfolio contained one image with the phrase, "to be a kid forever and ever." In 2022, Audrey graduated from Nassau with Most Improved and Class Participation awards. She then became a commercial illustrator and freelance graphic designer, having previously worked on children's books centered around a support dog. Everything seemed alright in Audrey's life, but in August 2022, tragedy struck. Sydney Sims, a former member of Audrey's middle school basketball team, tragically passed away in a car accident in Nashville. Despite having no recent contact with Sydney, Audrey was deeply affected by the news and showed up uninvited to an event honoring Sydney's life. Mia, who also attended the event, had an awkward encounter with Audrey. After the event, Audrey followed Mia to her car, asking if they could continue to hang out. Mia expressed that it was not an appropriate time and place since they were all grieving. Later, Audrey popped up again uninvited to another event held by Sydney's family. According to the people around her, Audrey frequently posted her grief over Sydney's death on social media. In addition to that, she also requested to be referred to by the name Aiden and with male pronouns. Nobody knew that Audrey's behavior would soon reach a terrifying conclusion. March 27, 2023. At 9:30 a.m., Audrey left her home carrying a red bag. Audrey's mother asked what was inside the bag, but Audrey dismissed the question. Nobody knew that it contained the high-powered rifles she would use in the shooting. A few minutes later, Audrey arrived at the Covenant School lot, driving in her Honda Fit. She circled the parking area, eventually finding a spot at about 9:55 a.m. At 9:57 a.m., Audrey contacted Avriana, her former middle school basketball teammate. Although the two occasionally spoke to each other through the years, this wasn't one of those friendly catch-ups. Avriana was stunned when she read the message. "I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You will probably hear about me on the news after I die. This is my last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life." Avriana tried to console Audrey, telling her she had so much more life to live. However, Audrey dismissed this, saying, "I know, but I don't want to live. I'm so sorry." Audrey later wrote, "Something terrible is about to happen. Please forgive me." Immediately, Avriana contacted local authorities and reached out to the suicide prevention helpline. Unfortunately, the terrible tragedy was already afoot. Around 10:10 a.m., Audrey, armed with 2 assault-type guns and a 9mm pistol, was already on the school premises. She was dressed in camouflage and a vest. She shot through the glass doors to gain entry. School custodian Mike Hill was standing in the hallway and was immediately struck by the gunfire, killing him. A few minutes later, at around 10:13 a.m., the Nashville police received 3 calls indicating an active shooter was inside the school premises. Panicked callers whispered for assistance, their voices trembling as sirens, weeping, and the sound of gunfire echoed in the background. One of the callers claimed she heard about 10 shots fired just before she left the building. Another caller was hiding in an art room closet and could hear more gunshots. She begged the dispatcher to send help quickly.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, I hear another shot.
You did?
I'm hearing more shots.
Okay.
We're upstairs by the art room hallway.
You're upstairs by what hallway?
In the art room.
Art room.
Yes, please hurry, I'm hearing you.
They're coming.
And they sound kind of close.
Just try to stay quiet. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
But,
For the next 14 minutes, Audrey walked meticulously through the school hallways. She circled outside the church office, entered, exited, and then passed the children's ministry. At 10:21 a.m., Audrey walked down a hallway, looked to the right where the hallway intersected with another room, and fired shots into the other room, killing more victims. At 10:24 a.m., a 5-member tactical unit of Metro Police arrived at the scene and immediately entered the school premises. They went through the hallways and classrooms, holding their rifles and announcing their presence. As the school's alarm system continued to blare in the background, police quickly searched for Audrey. Suddenly, they heard gunfire coming from the second floor and immediately bolted toward the staircase, hoping to find the rampaging shooter. As the team moved toward the sound of the gunfire, Officer Rex Engelbert took the lead and fired his weapon, striking down Audrey. 2 police officers, including Officer Michael Colazzo, immediately approached her, ordering her to stop moving. However, Audrey was defiant to the end and kept reaching for her gun. Michael shot his pistol several more times, finally killing Audrey. At 10:27 a.m., Audrey was declared dead. The shooting resulted in the tragic death of 3 innocent 9-year-olds, Evelyn Dykehouse, Hallie Scruggs, and William Kinney. Additionally, 3 members of the school's staff lost their lives: Catherine Kuntz, the 60-year-old head of the school, Mike Hill, a 61-year-old custodian, and Cynthia Peake, a 61-year-old substitute teacher. Authorities discovered Audrey's manifesto, but had not publicly discussed its contents. They also learned she studied the school and its entry points. Audrey's possession of 7 firearms from 5 different local gun shops came to light following the tragedy. Her parents were unaware of this, having only believed she owned one, which they thought she had sold recently. Additionally, it was later revealed that Audrey had been receiving treatment for an emotional disorder. The motive behind Audrey's actions remains unclear as the investigation continues.
If you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. This way, you won't miss any of our content.